Headed for the bunker? Just a bit offline and into the bunker. Not quite what he was hoping for. The tee shot in the bunker. Today's coverage brought to you by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports, coming to you from one of the most famous golf courses in the world, the Stadium Course at TPC Sawgrass. And Frank, not only does this belong to the best players in the world, but really to any player who wants to tee it up.
That's exactly right, Rich. It's open to the public, but that was also one of the directives when they first built this golf course. First of all, to host a championship, but then allow the fans of the game, people out there watching right now, to be able to go and play that very golf course. And they've succeeded.
First hole here at TPC Sawgrass, 423-yard par 4. Nice way for players to get started, Frank. Not too demanding, but still, it requires that you put the golf ball off the tee in the right place.
That's correct, Rich. There is a little bit of water down the right, but that's only really for the grandmothers in the field. Anybody else, drive it down the left, 3-wood, even a 2-iron if you're a longer hitter, and then a good chance to start with an opening bird.
Good contact, good result. Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up? It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Frank, obviously way too much club there.
You got to think something like that, or at least misread the wind. This is never going to sit down.
Frank, it hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
You wonder what he was thinking on that.
On the green, and a chance for birdie here on the first hole. This is the second shot at the par 4.
Great start.
So just a formality now. And he has it for birdie. Now to the second. Frank, what do you make of this hole?
Well, over the years, we've seen more and more people hitting 3-wood off this tee. And the 3-wood's normally easier to draw, and it doesn't run out down that right side.
And that's going to stay on the fairway here at the second hole. How tough is this going to be now from the rough, Frank?
Oh, it's tough to say, Rich. I mean, so much is going to depend on that lie. I'm going to need a little bit of luck.
Well, look out. This could be wet, Frank.
It's heading towards the hazard.
Slight miss, and they'll have to deal with some of it. Just need to settle down, relax on this next shot after going out of bounds.
The amount of times somebody splits the fairway after hitting one out of bounds is astronomical.
Now, this will be counted as the fourth shot after going OB on that previous shot. So, Frank, he'll take a drop here.
Yeah, he'll take his medicine, take his penalty shot. The hole's not over yet. Remember, out of the rough. Expect the ball to jump forward a little bit.
Well, the stats say that is a green hit in regulation, but it's not yet a par on the card. A very tough putt coming up. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
That was not a very good read right there. 15 feet away. Frank, I thought that was in.
How does that not go in?
This one just requires a little bit of focus. Really no chance to go in there. Just a sloppy hole, no other way to say it, and it results in a double bogey. Simple, solid, and he'll take it.
But one that you need to make.
Frank, a nice mix of holes to start, so here we go with a par 3 at the third.
Very narrow at the front of the screen, and that bunker too, you don't actually see it off the tee, the back left bunker, and it sneaks into that left side. So if that flag is on the left, just be careful.
No problems there. Really good approach shot. And now, good look at birdie.
It's that sneaky distance.
That was well judged, wasn't it? Wow, what a birdie. So much focus here, Frank, on 16, 17, and 18. Number 4 is a hole that gets overlooked, but it's a fun one.
Yeah, the second shot here is more daunting, especially when that flag's on the left. So you really do start looking at that blue stuff, water.
Crucial eagle attempt on the way. Nice position, short grass, second shot. And it is in.
Amazing. Amazing.
This will be a 14-foot putt here. This is an eagle attempt for Stenson. Fifth hole here at TPC Sawgrass. Long par 4. What's the challenge, Frank?
Depending, really, if you're a long or short hitter, the long hitters have the luxury of taking it over the corner of the bunker down the right. Shorter hitters really play at that bunker down the left, 320 run out.
Right out of the center of the bat.
Did you hear that?
right where they were aiming, in the fairway.
Oh, this is heading in the wrong direction.
Uh-oh. Good news is, Frank, you can see the golf ball. I guess the bad news is that's kind of an uncertain lie in that mulch.
Yeah, there's nothing really good about that. You'd rather it be in the rough.
Yeah.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
This is a good-looking shot. I mean, that's how the game is played, right there.
He's just making it look so easy. That birdie coming up, formality.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in.
Well, that's a smart shot. A lot of people would have tried to be a little more heroic from there, but there was no need.
Back on the fairway, back in play. Settles in over the putt. So, Frank, that's a bogey, and you see something with the body language here?
Yeah, I think we noticed that back there with that double bogey, Rich. Since then, it's almost like doubts crept in, a little bit of uncertainty. That is the beauty of this game at times, but really, if you want to be a champion, that's one thing that you have to change. Somehow, you've got to forget what's just happened. We haven't seen that yet.
Frank, this isn't a hole that sort of jumps out at you the way, say, 17 does.
Yeah, a lot of times people will just sort of gloss over it, but anytime you get a par 4 into 400 yards, it's a great opportunity. But once again, a positional hole. Take advantage of it.
Frank, you're in the business of analyzing golf shots.
I don't want to see that one again.
Wow. That was a bad shot. I like this.
Well, they claim it's a reachable par 4. We haven't seen a whole lot of people do it today. We just saw it right there. Well done.
Oh, my. Good. I ain't gonna lie, I just gotta get out of here.
Well, he'll be disappointed with that, no doubt. Well, just needs to refocus right here. Out of bounds on that last shot, needs to keep this one in play. Now playing 4 after going OB on that previous shot.
No snack, though.
So he has that for bogey. I can't help but think that the double bogey at 1 and now another at number 2 has really taken him out of his game at this point.
That's the eagle right here. I gotta get this. sure about this one out here, though. I'll try this. I ain't sure. Oh, no, I wasn't sure. That's okay, though. I'll take the bird.
Count it. That's a birdie. Frank, what do you think of the seventh?
Interesting par 4 for two reasons. The undulating green on the end of the hole, it also shapes to the right. That makes it look like a dogleg right. But really, you want to play that tee shot just inside those pot bunkers down the right side. He goes after it like he is here.
So that sets up a tougher second shot, missing the fairway with the drive, now in the rough.
Straight shot.
Well, this looks good.
Certainly is.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is. Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Well, that's how you do it. Hit it close, take the pressure off that putt. That one should be no problem. Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. Not a gimme, but well within his range.
A good solid stroke there. No sign of nerves on that.
Locked in on the read and the speed. Well, no problems there.
Yeah, keeps the round going. Keeps the momentum on his side.
Frank, 17 here at TPC Sawgrass. Gets all the attention when you look at the par threes. Justifiably so. But number 8 is a daunting challenge in its own right.
It is. Longest of the 4 par threes. Plus, it's just littered with bunkers around the side, the back, and the front.
Too fast.
Birdie try up next. Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
This is a long putt. Really, the key is the speed. If it drops, that's a bonus.
Well, that takes the strain off the next one.
Good lag putt right there. Mark a birdie on the card. Frank, what do you make of the final hole here on the front side? The 583-yard par 5 9.
Just depends on how much you want to risk here. If you hit a good drive down the right side, it's certainly gettable for 2. But you can make an absolute mess here at 9.
You want to get to what they call the gauntlet, 16, 17, and 18 with a chance. 16 is the reachable par 5. You can make eagle there. And then the final 2 holes, you just want to steer clear of trouble. Though, with bold play, and you mentioned it with Craig Perks, you could make birdies.
It really is a case of mind over matter when you look at those holes. You're right. If you took away the water, you'd think they're 3 nice holes. But it wouldn't be the same. You intimidate the player as he plays 15. He's well aware of the finishing 3 holes.
He pays a price for that.
Yeah, when you know...
That's out of bounds, and it'll cost him a shot. Now on his 3rd shot after being penalized for going out of bounds.
Yeah, tough break, really, Rich, on that last shot. It just got away from him.
He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time. That's a good spot right there.
Center cup.
That's a heck of a poke right there. 310 yards and in the fairway. 170 yards left. Well, Frank, you hate to miss the green on a par 5 with your 3rd shot.
Well, they say par 5s are the easiest holes to birdie, but the hardest holes to make 4. Making a 6, though, that certainly sets yourself backwards. So tough up and down. Well, that's a little absurd, that, Rich. The shot wasn't that hard, but it's come up well short.
Didn't appear committed through impact. Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
And getting ready for the putt. Good, solid par right there. Just a little tap in here. Did the job right there. Getting set now for the back 9 here at TPC Sawgrass. Frank, what should we expect?
Well, there's a good run of holes. 10, obviously, very birdieable. 11th, the par 5. 12th, a short par 4. A good chance to get this round really going.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. Didn't check, Frank.
Yeah, just not enough spin on that, really. I mean, that almost like took that first bounce and just ricocheted forward.
Nothing to argue about there, right in the fairway. Shot now from the rough. Frank, what's he facing?
Well, the lie first and foremost. If it's sitting down, then obviously you're not going to get a very good contact. Nothing wrong with coming up a little bit short of the green. Problem is turning one mistake into another.
On the green in regulation. Now playing the second here at the par 4. What a shot right there. Beautifully done. Now the time to be aggressive. Par 5, 558 yard, 11th hole, Frank. What's the key here?
Tee it high and let it flow. This is the big chance here. This is one of the widest fairways on the golf course. This is where you chance it all.
That appeared to be a good strike right there, Frank.
No, good. It's just towering. Look at that hanging in the sky.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
Players aren't just grabbing any old golf club these days, Frank. It's about spin rate and launch angle and all of those sorts of concepts.
Yeah, and the grooves. All those things help the player. Even the loft on wedges now. Loft is increased. We now see 64, 65 degree sand irons, so they get the ball up quicker and it stops quicker.
Frank, that is how it's done.
Yeah, take a gross of those. That is a lesson in itself.
And now a chance for eagle. These putts keep the round together. There's Henrik Stenson for eagle. He can make eagle right here. Yeah, an eagle. What a putt. Up to the 12th, Frank, and a good birdie chance here.
Yeah, good old length, short par 4. This green really divides itself into about 3 sections. There's a little piece to the right, piece short left, and the one at back left. So as long as you know where the flag is, just push that ball into the section where it is. You get up there, you're only going to have 10 or 15 feet left for birdie.
What a spectacular shot that was. He'll have a look at eagle. Appears to be tracking well. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Looks like he just misread that. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. So early on the backside here at the 12th hole, missed opportunity. Okay, no problem with that one. Hole number 13 here at Sawgrass, tricky 181-yard par 3.
You don't have to hit directly at this flag. When that flag's at the back there, you can use the contours. When it's on the left, once again, you can use the ridge in the middle of the green. Matter of fact, one of the hardest hole locations is when it's in the front right, because that's when you have to be careful.
Well, that's how it's done. The approach shot is within 10 feet, and another good look.
Hazard.
Maybe wet. So toweled off, dried off, and ready to go.
Yeah, let's hope this swing he hasn't still got the floaties on.
Third shot now after the last one found the deep blue.
Yeah, you can still minimize the damage here. It's only one bad shot you got punished for.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. Birdie chance for Henrik Stenson. Frank, 14 is so often a pivotal hole here at the TPC Sawgrass.
It is, Rich, and when you see a player hit 2 shots comfortably on this green, you think, what's all the problems about 14? But when you see someone stray left or stray right, you realize that 14 is a real bear.
Had the club face open just a bit at impact, and that one moves considerably to the right of the flagstick.
excellent tee shot here, Rich, but you're going to have to muscle this one out of the rough.
Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. Just want to nestle this one down to within a couple of feet. Always two components to the long lag putt, the speed, number one, and then the read. And missed out on that second part. Settles in over the putt. Man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Just 5 feet left. And that was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
Workmanlike hole. He walks away with a par. This would give him the par.
Man, she had the eagle there.
He's made it. Just before we get to what they call the gauntlet, 16, 17, and 18, 15 requires all of your attention, doesn't it, Frank?
Personally, I think this is the prettiest hole on the golf course, Rich. I've actually often gone back there and taken pictures. Just a gentle dogleg to the right. You come out of the chute. Seems to be a generous fairway. You just get a little view of the bunker down the right side, but virtually there's no lip there, so that's not a concern. The green, all sorts of weird and wonderful waves on it, well protected by a big bunker on the left, and there's two little pop bunkers out on the right that, well, if you're first time around, you might notice. It's on for a little extra.
And that ball is absolutely scorched. Just hit a seed out there. Frank, it hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
You wonder what he was thinking on that.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
Right in the heart of the fairway. Green light special. Birdie putt now for Henrik Stenson. So just a formality now. Frank, fans watching, they love excitement in the game. 16's an exciting hole, isn't it?
Well, that's where you get it, because you hear the roars. You start to see the big crowds that go all the way around 16, 17, and 18T. You feel where you are in the tournament, too. A movement that starts at 16 can be carried all the way to the clubhouse.
Now it's right in his wheelhouse. Good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. That ball's sitting up. You can bring it in high. You can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
Frank, this is a crucial spot in the round. Second shot here at 16. What should he do?
Well, not to project too far forward, Rich, but if he could hit one full-blooded iron shot, one full-blooded second shot here, that might be the feeling that he takes through the closing two holes.
Slight waggle, relaxed arms,
ready to go.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green.
Frank, through the years, we have seen countless what we would call good ball strikers, great swingers of the golf club, but there is something else that separates those kinds of players with the truly great achievers in the sport. What is it?
Great achievers have more than one plan. I think most players, it's always good if they're playing their golf. But what do you do if your driving is off or if your iron play is off? Do you have a plan B? Great players not only have a plan B, they have a plan C as well. And that's the difference. So when you set foot on the first tee, you've also got to be aware of, what if my driver doesn't go as well as I would like to, or my iron play isn't as sharp? Can I still compete?
So they can turn 74 into a 71.
That's right. And at the end of a 4-day tournament, the 71 doesn't look so bad, even if somebody shot 65 that day. Remember, as you know, and both of us know now, when you look at 4 days, someone always plays average for that. They don't play bad.
Golf tournaments aren't 100-yard sprints, they're marathons. 90 yards.
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
He'll have 17 feet on this putt.
Well, Frank, it's our job to get excited.
You can't when you leave it short, though.
I'm sad.
He's making my job hard.
Score that a birdie. Now to the 18th hole here at TPC Sawgrass. 462-yard par 4, Frank, and another example of visual intimidation from the designer, Pete Dye.
Those wooden bulkheads that go all the way down the left side of 18 give you like an optical illusion, Rich. And there's not a single fairway bunker on the...
That ball is lost in the water. So this will be the third shot after taking the drop with the ball going in the water.
Tom Weiskopf was one of my idols growing up. I loved the way he swung. That swing right there reminds me of my eye.
It looks like Rory McIlroy, Frank, sticking the follow through. Just trying to make clean contact from the rough. Well, look out. This could be wet, Frank.
It's heading towards that.
And he went for the brief swim there, Frank. He's trying to stay dry now.
He is. Just trying to avoid water on the brain as well. This will take a good swing.
Has to regroup, playing his fifth shot after hitting it in the water.
Yeah, it's not all lost. Once again, check the yardage, check the wind, start again. This has to go in the hazard.
Needs to get up. Frank, I hate to go negative, but let's clear a few things up. The penalties when you hit it in the water versus hitting it out of bounds.
Yeah, some people, that's a good question, Rich, because some people think they're almost the same, but when you hit it out of bounds, you're actually losing a stroke and a distance. For example, if I'm teeing off on a par 4 and I hit it out of bounds, I'm penalized a stroke for hitting it out of bounds, and I'm hitting my third shot off the tee. When I hit it into a water hazard, I don't have to lose all of that distance. I can drop the ball up just short of the water hazard. So the distance penalty isn't the same as if it was out of bounds.
Number 7, and nothing lucky about this one, Frank, after hitting it in the water.
Really starting to get away from the player right now, and this is, you can just see, starting to implode.
And getting ready for the putt. Just a couple of feet. He's made it. So for Frank Nobilo and all of us here at EA Sports, I'm Rich Lerner saying so long for now. This is EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside my friend and colleague Frank Nobilo, calling all the action for EA Sports. We're at Quail Hollow in Charlotte, North Carolina. And Frank, what makes this such a good test?
It's got a great flow to it, Rich. Holes that bend in both directions, changes of elevation, the phenomenal finish that's named the Green Mile, which is 16, 17, and 18, some reachable par fives. Players have gone low here as well. Don't get me wrong. I mean, there's plenty of opportunities. It's just a great blend, Rich.
Here we are at the first tee on this beautiful day in Charlotte, North Carolina.
418 yards, dogleg to the right. There's some bunkering down the right there, Rich, and fairway does tilt to the right. You don't have to hit driver here. Driver, 3-wood and just a short iron, off to a good start. This looks like it's going to find the target.
Drivable par 4, not for most in this field, but for this guy, yes, he has just knocked it on. What a shot.
Had every chance of going in.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
EA Sports is proud to present PGA Tour coverage. Today, it's the final round of the Alberta Classic. Banff Springs making a strong first impression with a par 4, generous fairway, and beautiful mountain landscape in the background, Frank.
Yeah, not overly long. Little dogleg to the left. That bunker down the left, you have to hit an absolute... Oh, he's winding this one up.
Really powering up here.
Smoked that one.
Those are good numbers right there. 320, 320 yards. Just crushed it in the fairway.
The wind blowing up something too.
Oh, nice strike, Rich. Not quite directly in line with the flag.
Just drifting a bit to the right, but he'll settle. On the green, and a chance for birdie here on the first hole. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. That's not how you picture it, Frank, when you step on that first tee.
No, you'd like to go back to that first tee right now and start again.
Well, not in contention, but in for par. Here at the par 3 second hole, just about 170 yards. This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
So a chance for birdie after another solid approach shot. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt.
Well, we'll never know if that had gone in, because it never made it.
Has this one for par. Workmanlike hole. He walks away with a par. Frank, plenty of scoring opportunities in the early portion of this golf course. We're now at a par 5, the third hole, and it's only 528 yards.
You can see why we're going to see a lot of people perhaps being 3 under through the first 3 holes, Rich. This par 5 bending to the right, very reachable. And just keep that tee shot nice and high off the tee. Let it carry as far as possible. Got the measurement out there, Rich. Looks like 290 yards.
Looks like he's going to have a go at it here at the par 5, his second shot. Frank landed it on the green.
It was never going to stop.
No chance. Set to go. Not an easy shot by any means. And it makes the green in regulation. So they'll tap in. Will it last? A birdie. Action is underway, and we'll take you out to hole number 4. Frank, our featured golfer has been steady so far.
Yeah, steady. That's not surprising. And the difference between steady and lighting it up, really, it's only a putt or 2 here and there. Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Not close, but not bad either. That one is about 25 feet away. Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this. When you consider the length of that putt, it was a good putt.
Locked in on the read and the speed. That was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
This would give him a bogey. Frank, this has been an absolute mess today and all week long.
You said it best.
Back on the tee here at Banff Springs, 5th hole, 424-yard par 4. What's the setup here?
Well, it's very tempting to try and hit a draw because that's the way in which the hole is shaped. But the main goal is to make sure that you can take that second bunker, the one on the left side, out of play with that tee shot.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Set now for the second shot, par 4 5th.
Just be aware of where the flag is. If it's cut in that front section, you definitely want to carry the front of the green. The hole is a little more difficult when they start to push that flag in the back left. You can see it narrow up there.
No problems there. Really good approach shot. And now, good look at birdie.
Really. This is an awkward length.
Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
In for par. Frank, you played at the highest level all over the world. What was a comfortable yardage for you on holes like this?
I actually had a club, believe it or not, that just the grooves on it, it would go 105 yards. It was a lofted sand on it, whether it was out of the first cut or up of the fairway. So if I could hit it around 100 yards, I could almost hit that distance with my eyes closed. After that, 70 yards was the next one. So everybody has that little sort of sweet spot with the wedge.
So that means on a hole like this, you were looking for something off the tee in the 265 to 270 range, and that would put what club in your hand?
Just in those days, it was a 53-degree sand on, yeah.
Well, hello there. That's an eagle.
Might be languishing in the middle of the pack, but at least celebrate that.
Out of the long par 5 7th hole, 602 yards, Frank. They call it hoodoo.
Yeah, it's nothing for a little muscle man. Bust one up the tee there. Well, actually it is. You're going to need two of your best if you want to reach this par 5 and 2. So, start with a good one.
Excellent start off the tee. That's a great way to begin this hole.
Second shot.
Got the green and doing that.
Well, he gave us a demonstration today why he's one of the best in the sport. Every green hit in regulation. Not quite enough on that one, couple of feet short.
Yeah, hopefully he taps it in. Not his best, but hopefully it's just two putts.
Well, after that birdie, has to be feeling as though they're not out of it just yet.
You're not far away from the first page of the leaderboard. A couple more birdies.
Now to hole number 8. It's another par 3 with some water. Frank, only 150 yards. This is the shortest hole in the golf course.
But distance control is still very important here. If you can get the right distance, you could perhaps aim 10 or 15 feet left of the flag. You're only going to have a 10 or 15-foot putt. So just think of that. Water on the right there. Maybe just aim a little further to the left. You can still make birdie. This looks like it's going to find the target.
Pretty close. We'll be looking at about 15 feet for birdie. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Needs a few more of those. That was a good birdie.
Yeah, this time, that one gets him in the top 10.
Just love the variety here on the front side, Frank, coming off that short par 3 8th. Now we go to another par 5 to round out the side, 501 yards.
And the third par 5. The interesting front 9 here. 3 par 5s, 3 par 3s, and 3 par 4s. This one, not the longest par 5, but still reachable. This one, you have to be a little bit careful, though. This is probably the toughest driving hole on the front 9 with regard to par 5s. Well, with a good shot here, Rich. This eagle on the cards. Hole very reachable from where he is.
Don't get many opportunities like this. This is a good place to take advantage. Down, little Sheba. Down! Just averted danger right there. So close.
Why does he have all the luck?
This is a long putt. Really, the key is the speed. If it drops, that's a bonus. Pretty good stroke right there, just to hit it through the break.
It's that sort of distance. If it goes in, it's a bonus.
Racking them and stacking them. That's 12 under par now for the tournament. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
Birdie try up next. Birdie try again here today. Really? That's the best you have? Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Frank, I thought that was in.
Whoa, that was unexplainable. I thought that was easily going to be a par.
You don't have to focus. Try to make bogey. Call in the medics, Frank. Can't stop the bleeding here.
Just racking the bogeys up.
On the tee here at the 11th hole, 417-yard par 4. Is this a drive you like to hit, Frank?
It certainly is, Rich, but it's a little narrower than what your eye first sees. And the reason why, there's a tree sort of another 40, 50 yards down the right side past that bunker. So if you hog that right side, that tree can become a little bit of a problem for the second shot.
Well, this looks good.
Certainly is.
Frank, he's cranking it and banking it. Giant drives, a boatload of birdies. What a round.
Yeah, these are the days you just dream for. We know golf's not that easy, but on a day like today, savor it and just keep going. Keep doing it.
Oh, looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much.
Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
So a tester from 4 feet.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall.
All right, on to the 12th hole, 442-yard par 4. What do you like about this hole, Frank?
Just a nice par 4 that sort of bends to the player's right. A lot of people will just stand up here, grab the driver. I don't really think you have to do that, Rich. The hole's not overly long. Just something short or down that left side. You're only going to have a short iron in for your second shot.
Excellent looking shot here.
Appreciate that, man.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Good swing, good shot yet again.
Push. Come on, baby, sit up. Oh.
Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. Good chance here. Currently at 5 under par.
Just got to get this one close. I'll take the par. Just want to get it close.
Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Getting set now over the putt.
Oh, come on. Look at me.
Man,
Just pushed it.
that hurts.
Yeah, it did. It's got a divot in the ground. It's a divot.
Wow, that was
come
so
on.
close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, you couldn't hit that much better.
Yeah, I tripped on it. Oh, that's a bad hole. Bad hole for me right there.
Going to have to regroup now after that double bogey.
I can make that though. I can make that.
Well, this is a good hole right here. Par 3, 225-yard 13th. Frank, what do you think?
Well, it's called sulfur. I can't remember what element that is on a periodic table, but hardest thing here is not to figure that out, but figure out what club you're going to use. Just a fraction downhill, just over 200 yards. It does narrow up when they start to stick the flag in the back, but there's a nice fat target there, sort of those first 2/3 of the green.
Sit. Come on, sit. Sit. Come back.
Frank, it hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
Yeah, you wonder what he's thinking on that.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in.
Another good swing, another good approach shot.
This would be a bonus from 25 feet away.
Boy. Boy.
Missed on that one, Frank.
Yeah, not a problem.
This to surrender, only one shot.
It's in the cup right here. Bump that. Jeez. Man, come on.
So another bogey on the scorecard. And Frank, what happened this week?
I think it's a week to forget, Rich.
Frank, this par 4 14th hole at about 440 yards will test you all the way up to that green, won't it?
Yeah, it certainly will. It just looks like you should bash it over those bunkers down the left side, but the green pitches from left to right. So the best access is actually down the right side, coming in from that sort of right line. So don't be fooled here.
I got to come back and make a birdie on this hole.
It's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
Boy, it is nice to have that one in your bag, to be able to hit it that long.
Yeah, that has to be at least 315 yards.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
He'll be disappointed with that, no doubt.
His swing didn't quite look right on that one.
Settles in, looking to knock it in tight. Frank, you played in conditions all over the world. Here come the winds now. What's the mindset?
Well, this is really what separates the
baby.
men
This
from the
hole
boys.
is
This is what you've got to tell yourself.
Oh,
It's an
they
advantage to you.
cheating.
Obviously, the scores will go up a little bit,
They kill me on
given the
putts
conditions.
and
But
everything,
once
man.
again,
I'm supposed
this
to
is
get a
going to suit
hole
the
in-
stronger
I'm
player
supposed to get a
today.
hole
Like
in
the old
shot.
phrase, swing easy when it's breezy.
Come on, man.
Definitely when you're hitting it to a head breeze. But down breeze, tee it up a little bit, try and ride that wind some more.
Shit, man.
Different day, different hole. Made bogey yesterday. He'll do better this time, it looks like. That's about as depressing a moment as there is in golf. When you miss the bogey putt, you know you're staring at double. And getting ready for the putt. Frank, you know full well, this can be a humbling game.
And an embarrassing game.
And Frank, ahead on the green, you could have a really crazy putt if you're not careful.
This is probably the most undulating green on the golf course, so you do not want to be going in with too flat a second shot.
Frank, he is one of the longest hitters in the game, but at some point, you have to hit a fairway.
Yeah, he's certainly not the straightest. I think that was the bit you're going to put in the middle.
Not easy to control from that kind of a lie, is it, Frank?
No, obviously, you could see in the back of his mind, don't go left. So it just depends how far right this is going to finish.
Coming off a bogey here yesterday, chance to make it right. He can't believe it. Thought it was in. Been a little too much of that, Frank. Just sort of ho-hum pars. Frank, the 16th hole, 414 yards, par 4, is nicknamed GOAT. Would that be greatest of all time, or is it just because the possibility you could see old Billy out there here in the Canadian Rockies?
I'd like to think it's the greatest of all time. I've never seen a GOAT hit a draw, that's why, and that's what's needed off this tee once again. The first bunkie should easily be able to carry that, and, well, if you're the greatest of all time, this is a fairway, you'll certainly hit.
Second shot. Good look at the green. Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Good strike right there, right off the center of the face and about 20 feet away. Made par yesterday. This one for birdie.
That was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
Well, you couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Good work right there. He'll settle for par. Frank, as we make our way to the house, a chance here at the 17th, just 374 yards, a chance for a birdie.
It certainly is. Anytime you see a hole today under 400 yards of par 4, that is, you know you're going to get a short on your iron. You know you're going to get a short iron in your hand if you hit a good tee shot. Just avoid the bunkers left and right off the tee. The green does slope back to front, so it pitches nicely towards you, making that second shot, if anything, a little easier.
Took the big stick off the tee, but still challenging short second shot coming up here, Frank.
A much shorter second shot here on 17, Rich. But because that green's elevated, you've actually got to be that much more precise with this pitch.
This hole really sets up well for the player. Birdie yesterday, and a chance for another one today. Birdie try again here today. Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
No problems there.
Yeah, keeps the round going, keeps the momentum on his side.
Here we are at the 18th at Banff Springs, 578-yard par 5. Frank, did you like to finish a round with a par 5?
Certainly if I could birdie it, that's for sure. And there's a good chance here at 18 you can, but there's bunkers galore. They're all in play for various standards of play. But the reward is if you can pump one down the middle of the fairway there, and then you reduce this par 5 to simply a drive and an iron.
Nothing to argue about there, right in the fairway. Second shot coming up here at the par 5. That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. Now this for birdie, came away with par in the previous round. Frank, where is that been?
Well, thank God for small mercies.
Frank, it was a great setting with great crowds. We saw plenty of very good golf. Your thoughts?
I think the course really extracted some of the golf that we saw. It forced these players to play just some great golf, and it wasn't just like a pitch and a putt golf course. So I think seeing the guys tested, seeing the players tested at this level, it was a treat.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the International Challenge.
Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. Always a treat to be in Scotland, Frank, and at one of the oldest golf clubs in the world, Royal Troon.
It's getting close to 150 years old. It was first established all the way back in 1878. Actually, the original golf course only had 5 holes on it. But over the Open Championship roster, this has probably been the most successful, or provided the most success to American players. The last 6 Open Championship winners were all American.
Has one of the most famous holes in all of major championship golf, the 123-yard par 3 8th. It's known as the postage stamp, and one of the legends had a really nice moment there many years ago.
The late Gene Sarazen, the Squire, he had a little ace there, all televised too, and it was a great way to remember his phenomenal career.
On the green, and a chance for birdie here on the first hole. This one just requires a little bit of focus.
Made a good run at birdie. He'll have to focus now. Try to walk away with the par. Just a couple of feet.
Well, not in contention, but in for par.
Frank, another great example of links golf. It's not a particularly long hole, but there is trouble if you hit it offline.
Yeah, there's a bunker down there at about 280 yards that has to be avoided. Only the long hitters, or perhaps the one he goes after it like he is here. Oh, huge with a capital H.
Busted that. This is when the game's fun, Frank, when you get one high in the air and you have a down breeze and you just watch it. Stays in the air forever.
Yeah, the hang time on that.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie.
Even par currently. Rich, it's been a very good workmanlike performance. Yet another birdie.
Into the top 15 on the leaderboard.
Frank, looking at the third, what are the sort of key decisions that you have to make?
There's 2 bunkers down the left. They're not really the issue. They're the burn. That's about 285 yards. This is not a hole, really. You just take the driver out and swing away. Just something that stays up short of that. It's just going to leave you a short iron in. Oh, I liked that.
Just a good solid tee shot right there, about 280 yards.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
That will be a great look at birdie.
Back-to-back birdies, we'll see. Frank, this game will drive you crazy.
Yeah, you can do so many things right, and then just something so simple, completely wrong.
He needs this for par.
1 under early in the round. We have already begun. Let's pick up with the action at hole number 4. As we catch up with today's featured golfer, Frank, what's the key to generating some momentum?
Just hitting good shots. I know it sort of sounds like the old cliche, but plenty of opportunities. A few 10, 15-foot putts start going down. This round will change dramatically.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one. Rich, I remember back in 1997 playing alongside Tiger Woods in the 3rd round. You know what he shot that day?
It was low. It was a great round, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the lowest round he's ever shot in the Open Championship. 64 to be precise. Justin Leonard went on to win the Open Championship that year.
Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. Steady, solid, and at 1 under par right now. Now the first par 3 here at Royal Troon. It's the 5th hole, a little bit more than 200 yards. What's the challenge here, Frank?
A lot depends on the breeze. Plus, you remember, you've got to allow for the roll and the bounce here. So anything pitching on the front of the green, let that ball release or kick towards the middle and back of the screen.
That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
That was not a very good read right there.
It's no snack, though.
Not too much and not too little. Perfectly played into the center of the cup. Frank, it's all about the difficult rough off the right-hand side of the green here at the hole they call the slopes.
Yeah, 600 plus yards par 5, so really you don't want to be flirting with that right side.
He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time. Good contact, good result. Frank, this is just a pleasure to watch. A player hitting on all cylinders at the top of his game.
Notice it's just flowing, too. There's not a lot of deep analysis going through his mind. Just one step in front of the other. If your swing's there, you don't have to find it. If your putting stroke's there, you don't have to find it. Just let it happen.
You can see a little bit off balance on the tee, and that one is going to be in the rough.
Oh, that's off the beaten track. It's got 5 minutes to find it.
This requires a lot of speed through the ball.
I mean, this skill and that was sublime.
Just good hands, coming out of the rough, able to manage the distance, and now in great position. Moves into the top 10 with that birdie. Frank, we're moving inland now, and what are we facing here at this par 4 7th hole?
Just a dog leg to the right, ideally just a little cut off the tee. Nice.
Looks good.
Oh, that's got to be 300 yards, isn't it?
Second shot. Good look at the green.
Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
We just saw a player in total control of what he's doing. Didn't miss a green in regulation all day long. Getting set now over the putt. Moves into second place with that birdie. Back to the action here as we get ready to tee off at the par 3 8th.
Yeah, 5 bunkers surround this green that's perched up. The 2 really to avoid there on the right side. They're incredibly deep pot bunkers.
Hoping to get this up and down here, Frank, at the par 3 after missing the green.
Yeah, it's not all bad.
Well, he'll be disappointed with that, no doubt.
Yeah, swing didn't quite look right on that one.
Just trying to make clean contact from the rough. And he's made the green. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Just slides by.
Yeah, can't afford to miss too many of those out here today.
Just a couple of feet. That takes him to 1 under on the day. Frank, how does the front 9 finish up with this par 4?
Well, the par 4 9th is called the Monk. It's not overly long, 423 yards, dog leg to the right. Just 1 bunker down the left to be avoided. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. So that ball nestles down in the rough. Just got away a little bit on that tee ball. Now playing the second here at the par 4. Oh, looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much. That just came out blazing. As soon as it hit the green, it was never going to stop.
Good stroke right there. That's a par, and stays at 1 under. Just a superb performance on the front side. He's hoping to keep it going here on the back 9, Frank.
The game is so much easier when you're swinging well, putts are going in. Really, you just got to keep going wide.
He's just burning rubber right here. This one is taking off like a missile.
just destroyed it. He's going to try and rip the cover off it.
Always makes the hole easier, playing it from the fairway.
Second shot. This is way left going left.
And that one's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Slight miss, and he'll have to deal with some of the heavy grass.
Rich, these players aren't getting a reprieve with the win right now.
Right from the start, the winds have been kicking pretty good.
At least it's presenting that challenge for the players they don't get every other day.
This will test the player. I mean, it's one thing to play with no wind in perfect conditions, but as we know, golf is a game of variables.
Yeah, and better strike will be rewarded today.
Wow, I thought he made that. No, that's not the way you want to start the back nine. Missed putt, bogey, and a drop shot. Tough start to the backside, Frank.
Yeah, it doesn't bode well, too. You start losing confidence with the putter early on.
So with that, 1 over par. Frank, if you needed a reminder as to just how difficult this 11th hole is, none other than Jack Nicklaus had his problems here.
Yeah, he turned pro in 1962. He just won the U.S. Open at Oakmont, and then he came to Troon, and on the 11th hole, he made a 10. That's right, double digits.
So that sets up a tougher second shot, missing the fairway with the drive, now in the rough. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Well, this one is offline just a bit. Look out. You know, that one is going to end up in the rough. You have to think he'll be happy with that, given that it looked like it was headed right for the rough.
Yeah, it looked like that was the only place it was going to finish, but, well, it's a little bit unexplainable. Let's see what he does from here now. Lucky break. Safely on deck.
Just an incredible shot. That is a very makeable putt after a great approach. Well played. And getting ready for the putt. Well, he knew it right from the start. Just a poor putt. This for him would be one drop shot. In for bogey, now sitting at 2 over for the round. Back here on the bonny shores of Scotland at Royal Troon Golf Club with just a wee breeze, as they say over here, Frank. On the tee at the 12th.
Yeah, hole that bends to the right, gorse right and left. There's a bit of a mound and rough down the right side. That has to be avoided.
Shot. Green.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special. Our computer gives us 23 feet, Rich.
And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. Pretty good effort right there.
No, it's not.
These putts keep the round together.
Garbage. Garbage.
Been a little too much of that, Frank. Just sort of ho-hum pars. Frank beginning to head towards home. This is the 13th of par 4.
Another dogleg right. Problem isn't really the tee shot here, even though there's undulations and mounds all over the fairway. Second shot's played uphill to an elevated green. Tom Weiskopf was one of my idols growing up. I loved the way he swung. That swing right there reminds me of my eye.
It looks like Rory McIlroy, Frank, sticking the follow-through. Right in the heart of the fairway, green light special. Frank, the beauty of the game, the changing conditions. You've played it all over the world, and you don't play it inside a dome, do you?
Yeah, anybody can play on a fine, still day, but what separates the good from the great is actually days like today. That's when that little extra attention to detail, the better strike, the better swing is certainly going to pay dividends.
That is how it's done right there. What an approach shot. Sitting right now at 2 over par for the round.
Oh, how did that miss?
Are you kidding me? I mean, that one was dead center.
It was. This
That's a par. Stays at +2. On the tee here at 14, it's another par 3, Frank.
You don't get caught looking at the front of the green. That's where it's at its most narrow. Ideally, something that pitches just into the top of that mound.
no.
Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. And he's made it onto the green now. Always take that. Good par putt right there. At the 15th, this par 4 is over 480 yards.
The key here really is the 3 bunkers, 2 on the left, 1 on the right. 260 yards gets you past that. If you find the fairway here, then you don't have to worry about the 3 bunkers that are short of this green.
Just a good solid tee shot right there, about 280 yards.
This is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. With that ball nestled down just a bit in that heavy rough. He'll need to be strong with this. Well, that's what separates the good players from the great players. The ability to get it that close from that kind of line. Two over for the day. Frank, here's the only par 5 on the back 9 at Royal Troon.
You'd think at 542 yards it would be reachable, but the burn that cuts across really limits the tee shot to about 280 yards. So it's very much about placing that second shot in a good distance for your third.
In the 1997 Open Championship here at Royal Troon, you played with Tiger Woods in the 3rd round. What did he do at this 16th hole?
He hit a driver for a second shot into a head breeze from about 270 yards. Managed to get it on the green. then knocked it in from about 45 feet for eagle.
You knew he was something special back then, didn't you?
Yeah, he was the only one that even tried that shot.
So missed the fairway, and now he's back where he needs to be.
Yeah, minimize the problems.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. Frank is knocking them down and picking them up.
Oh, it's just taking pins out, one after the other.
Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either.
Well, that was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
He has this attempt for par. Rolls in the par putt, stays at +2. Frank, now to the hole they call Rabbit, 222-yard par 3.
I don't know why it's called Rabbit, because this is certainly some tough par 3. Green sits up a little bit. There's a big roll-off on the left side, well bunkered. This takes a brilliant long iron shot just to keep it on the green.
Uh-oh, this one's going left, Frank. Frank made this hole just a little bit harder hitting it into the rough.
I would say a lot harder. I mean, this skill, and that was sublime.
Just good hands, coming out of the rough, able to manage the distance, and now in great position. That's just a poor putt right there. No other way to say it. And a drop shot, a bogey at 17. Getting set now over the putt.
Tonight ain't anything.
3 over for the day. Frank, you've played in and contended at so many major championships. It's not a major if the finishing hole doesn't present a real challenge. What do you think of Royal Troon's finishing hole?
Well, it's not just the 18th hole, Rich, too. It's 16, 17, and 18, because the prevailing breeze, especially at the Open Championship time of the year, which is the second week in July, is normally back into it. So you look at that 464 yards, that's well bunkered off the tee, 3 on the left, 1 on the right, into a puffer breeze, and you got yourself a great finishing hole.
Great way to finish off the final approach shot with a birdie opportunity. Well, you couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it.
Just a couple of feet. So finishes the day with a 74. Second round coverage coming your way tomorrow. For our entire crew, I'm Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. So long for now. EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live second-round coverage of the International Challenge.
Oh, that's fine.
Well, I guess we shouldn't be surprised. The former PGA teaching professional has a textbook golf swing. Long and straight, about 320 yards, and in the fairway. That is a green in regulation as the approach shot hits the first green, but he is by no means in for par yet. A lengthy putt coming up. It's a good-looking putt right here. You might like it.
There we go, baby.
Frank well off the pace, but the true professionals, they keep digging, trying to get better. And ready to tee off here at the par 4, 391 yards second.
Yeah, it's not overly long. The big when he goes after, he is here.
He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time. Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
So on the putting surface, and taking a good look now at this birdie putt here at the second. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie. Oh, I thought he had that. Missed on that one, Frank.
Yeah, not a problem.
So they'll tap in. That's a solid par putt. Frank, looking at the third, what are the sort of key decisions that you have to make?
There's two bunkers down the left. They're not really the issue. They're the burn. That's about 285 yards. This is not a hole, really. You just take the driver out and swing away. Just something that stays up short of that. It's just going to leave you a short iron in.
Well, not this time. That one's in the rough. Might be a tough shot coming up.
Second shot coming out of the rough here.
You can see a little bit off balance on the tee, and that one is going to be in the rough.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
That shot right there from that lie in the rough to not get that close, that's good.
Boy, that hurts right there, Frank.
Yeah, he's got to knuckle down now, though, because, you know, we've seen it before, Rich. 2 putts turn into 3.